They do blood ritual sacrifices on Purim, specifically of Gentile children. That's why they made sure to bomb the little girls' elementary school in Iran. Kill, yeah. So yeah, like this is literally blood ritual sacrifice. I was told you about the Jacob Frankists and the Epstein shit. If they're not raping them, they're killing them. Um, on Purim, these Zionists, these Jewish supremacists, they literally rape and bomb and do blood ritual sacrifice of Goyim children, of Gentile children, of little girls specifically. They specifically have some kind of nasty thing with little girls, some obsession with little girls, like Jacob Frank and the Frankists, where they would have sex.
You're now listening to the Drug Cult Gang podcast.
Yo, what up? Welcome back to another episode of the Drug Cult Gang podcast. It's your host, Tony G. And holy shit. Fuck, dude, we have a lot to go over this episode. This episode's been way overdue. The Iran war just popped off a few days ago. I'm thinking the title of this episode is going to be Iran versus the Epstein class, or Iran versus the Epstein regime. I don't know. See, like I like the Epstein. I like the term the Epstein regime. I think that really encapsulates it, and like also I like it's like we're taking over that word regime. They always try to say Iran is a regime, or like all these countries and nations they don't like North Korea or whatever, they're all regimes, right? And it's like we're taking the power from that word and like calling them a regime. So like I kind of like that. But then I'm also, like I'm such a class, like I'm always like really like centering class, I'm like a class reductionist or whatever. So I also really like calling it the Epstein class because I think like it's more than just a regime or different nations or different governments. It's definitely a class of people, transnational capital, if you will. So, oh fuck you, we have a lot to go over. So, like last episode, I'm not going to sit here and cry about my Instagram getting permanently banned. I'm working on getting it back. I've like hired some, there's like this little like lawyer app that you can get. I like dish out a little bit of money, like 50 or like $80 or some shit to like hire this lawyer that's gonna like send them letter. Hopefully I get it back. I don't know if I'll get it back, but I really hope so. Then I can maybe get guests on again. But it's like, yeah, like man, that Insta, I've already talked about it so much, but just to say, that Instagram was a really big deal. I mean, that's how I got all my guests on. That's how people found me. A lot of my guests I would have on were people that followed me first, like Gangy Haifong. I was gonna have on Nico House. Those two guys followed me first, so that was gave me the chance to DM them and them see my message and ask them, hey, to come on and ask them, hey, will you come on my show? So anyway, Instagram's gone, big blow to my whole career and like all of this. But here I am, we're still doing it. I'm not gonna spend half of the episode crying about it like last episode, because I did that enough. If you want to see more, see me explain that more, or if you don't really know, if you didn't watch last episode, go watch the last episode. It's like the first like 30 minutes or so. I explain more about the Instagram and what happened. But just to give you guys an update, I'm working on getting it back. I don't know. I don't want to jinx myself or what, but I don't know if I'm gonna get back. Hopefully I do. Anyway, I'm gonna try to go fast because we have a lot of shit to cover today. Um, what's the first thing we're gonna cover? Oh yeah, so the Epstein files came out like a while. I think it came out like a little bit after my last episode dropped. So I haven't been putting out episodes recently, and this episode is way overdue because as you guys know, my Instagram, like that is where I got people to watch the podcast, was saying, hey, because all my followers there. So I'd put on Instagram, hey, new episode out, and that's what got everybody to go to YouTube or whatever to then watch or listen to the episode. So now that I don't have that, it's like I'm just relying on people to hopefully some people are subscribed and hopefully they notified the bell and they get my video, or somehow they get my video other than seeing it on Instagram, which is how like 99% of people are would see my episodes. So I'm like losing 99% of my viewership, but fuck it, we're still doing. I'm still here, and I'm recording the episode. Oh, first, the big thing before we get into it, follow me on TikTok at DrugCultGang. Same at as everywhere. I'll have the link in the description. You can go to my link tree. I have my link tree in the description. My TikTok is in there. I've been building that TikTok and I've been posting on there. Horrible, horrible. Talk about fucking shadow banning and censorship. It's really bad on TikTok, but I'm trying. It's all I got right now. So yeah, make sure you're following me on X and TikTok. Those are my two places that I'm mainly at, particularly TikTok right now, ever since my Instagram got banned. So yeah, Zoran Memdani, remember we were talking about how he was talking shit on Cuba and Venezuela and saying their dictatorship or whatever? Like we knew he had the MK Ultra fucking smile to his ass. I was telling you guys how I knew he was like he was fucking paid by somebody. Guess what? His Zoran Memdani's mom was in the Epstein files. I guess that can be the first thing we talk about since that's on the top of my list. Came out a while ago. Um, let's see if I can share my screen here. Um, if I can show you guys, or no, I'll just or yeah, no, I'll show you guys because fuck it, we'll show it. Um, yeah, let's try to do this. Okay, share screen. Oh, notes, perfect. Or no. Um, should I, can I do this? Do I have anything in here that we don't want people to see? Mm, no. Okay. How can I do this? Okay. Anyway, okay, we're just gonna okay, there's not much to show. I was just like, you can look this up yourself and find it yourself. Zoran Mamdani's mom was in the Epstein files. I do have it here though. I'll just read it. Um, so yeah, I'll just read it. Okay, pull this back up over here. All right, I'm just gonna read it for you. I was gonna show it and put on the screen so I can read off, but I wasn't prepared for that. So let's just read it. Um, so yeah, or I can just show you guys like this. Um, boom, this is one of the emails. Here's a screenshot from the email leaks. It's 2G vacation from Peggy Siegel. Okay, it says just left Ghislaine's townhouse after party for film. Bill Clinton and Jeff Bezos were there. Gene Pigazzi, director Myra Niar, etc. Myra Niar is Zora Mamdani's mom. So what the fuck is Zora Mamdani's mom doing at one of Epstein's parties with um, Bill Clinton and Jeff Bezos? Oh yeah, if you've also followed my reporting on Zora Mamdani, we also have him pictured like whenever like the night he won, he went and took a picture with um George Soros's son. I mean, what the fuck? He's friends with George Soros's son. His mom goes to Epstein parties with Jeff Bezos and Bill Clinton. The rest of the email reads, film received tepid reaction, although women like it much more. Hillary Swank and Gurr at stupid party in Bloomingdale's cheap sportswear department. Very weird. Studio went for free party from store and windows for a month. Going to be in Wall Street tomorrow. More to come. XOXO Peg. So yeah, she was mentioned in the email. So yeah, she is guilty of being one of these parties. Very weird. Um, so yeah, does the name Myra Niar, the mother of New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani, appear in the Epstein files? Yes, that is true. Lead stories located an email that mentions her appearance at an after party for one of her films. The event occurred in 2009. Um, yeah, I mean, what in the fuck? Nice. Um, so we could talk about some more Epstein shit, like he was into like like transgender research and shit like that, and like the Epstein regime, you know what I mean? Like, like with America and the West and like their obsession with transgenders and all this other weird identity politics shit. Um, that doesn't surprise me that he was into transgender research. Um, okay, let me get out of here. All right, what else is there to talk about? God damn this chair. I'm getting used to this chair. All right. Okay. China cancels all new investments in Israel. As you've been following my reporting, and should I made a news graphic of that? That's really dope. China cancels all new investments in Israel. Oh yeah, so yeah, I'm back, solo again. Just like last episode, we might see more of this because like I was saying earlier on my Instagram's gone, so I can't really invite people to come on the show. Yeah, that's what I was getting to, is about like not being able to invite people on the show, was that you're probably gonna see more episodes of just me. Um, my best friend and co-host, there was a little bit of problems. He's kind of bailed. I don't know if I want to talk about this, but yeah, he's kind of. I'll get into that later, if anything. It's nothing. I love him to death. He's my brother, but it's just he's kind of on some weird shit. Like this. I'm not gonna talk about it right now. I might get into it later. Um, stay for the episode if you, and I might get into it later. Okay, the kill line meme in China. Yeah, let's bring that up. Um. Let's see if I can bring that up. Okay, so we're gonna pull up the kill line meme in China. Copy link. All right, so we're gonna pull this up. I should have had this already set and ready. Okay, I don't know why it's on this exact timestamp. Anyway, let's just watch it. Let's watch it together, guys. Um, okay, put this over here. All right, let's share my screen. All right. Oh, share sound. I'm not sharing. Share. All right. All right, guys. Let's see. Oh, let's turn stuff. Hold on. Sorry, guys. All right. Share. I want it to be. I like this background thing that you can do. That's hard. All right. Okay. All right.
So what's your opinion of it? Especially he said 30
forum, mainstream media like The Economist and New York Times over the survival arrangements systematic for Americans as structure connect as a PC, the impact that
is a major underlying cause.
Okay, I think I want to find the part where she explains this kill line meme. Um, let's see what they're she
For why
explains
this has
right
caused
here.
so much discourse in China.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the impact of the kill line in China can't be overstated, right? It's had such a cultural impact that Kishi, the official theoretical journal of the CPC, they published an essay using the concept of the kill line as a structural feature of the US political system. And this is a quote from their essay. They state, "The systemic disconnect between political responsiveness and genuine social needs is precisely the structural contradiction that continues to deepen and become difficult to heal in American society. The kill line phenomenon reveals a cold-blooded capital-first institutional logic. Under this logic, institutional arrangements systematically prioritize capital security and returns over the survival and dignity of workers." So very, similar to what you were saying, Charles. And the impact has been so great that now the US government and US corporate media have been caught on the back foot. And
I think that
kill line that's been going viral there. Just growing up in the society that they find themselves, there's like the cost of living crisis, they're unable to make rent, healthcare is outrageous. And, I want to shift a little bit to
Okay, so basically this kill line, so there was this Chinese student, and I've talked about this before, how like a lot of people in China, like okay, so like way a few back episodes ago, we there was this thing that happened where okay, so TikTok went down, right? And then a lot of people started going over to the Chinese like version of TikTok called Red Note, right? And then so this was the first time where a lot of younger people or people in general were since Americans were on a Chinese app, so they had a lot of conversation with Chinese people. So they were talking and they were just talking about like what life is like in America. And Chinese people are so fucking spoiled. Well, it's not even spoiled. It's they have an they have an actual government that cares about them and runs how an actual government should run. Well, it's just that's what socialism is, you know what I mean? So they have a socialist government that cares about them, gives them free health care, a good price of living, there's no homelessness. And so then when these younger Chinese people realize how bad Americans live, they're like, hold on, you guys live paycheck to paycheck and like if you just miss one paycheck, you could be homeless. Like they were just mind blown. They always thought that America was like this great country that everybody should strive to go to, which I absolutely hate. And like this idea of like mass immigration where like all these countries want to like brain drain their countries and leave their countries to come to America just to be a wage slave in the American empire, imperialist America empire. And just, help the Epstein class. Like that's all you're doing, coming here, getting a job and just feeding the system. How about you stay in your own country and make your own country stronger? But anyway, so yeah, they were like, oh my God, America is horrible. So anyway, so this is a Chinese student. He came to America to like go to school or something, right? And then he, um, came to America to go to school and he's in like med school or whatever and he was working for this company and one of his jobs was like having to fill out like insurance shit about like how and why people died or something. I don't know if it's to do with insurance or something to do with medical or economic. And he's like investigating how people were dying and he kept getting all these homeless people and like it kept realizing that a bunch of these people were like they'd get fired or something, something little would happen, they lose their job, so then they end up losing their house, they're homeless, and because they're homeless they end up getting it's hard living on the street or they can't go to the hospital and end up dying on the street homeless. And he's like thousands, and this is happening to thousands of people in America every day. It's insane. And he's like, what the fuck? Like this is unheard of in China. So he went back onto his Chinese social media and he's talking to his fellow Chinese people and he's like, hey guys, look how insane it is in America. This is how they treat people. This is how people live out here. The government just lets people die on the street. It's like to us Americans, we're like, yeah, that's just regular shit. People dying on the street, people being homeless, people sleeping on the street. But so this is not a regular thing in China, as most of you guys know if you follow my work. And he's letting his fellow Chinese people know, like, look how horrible this is. And he is like also a gamer, and there's like this gaming term. I don't really play video games, but there's this gaming term called the kill line, which is like when you're like one hit away, like one health point, one HP point away from dying in the video game. Um, when you're like one health point away from dying in the video game, and it's like these people that are living paycheck to paycheck or they're homeless or whatever, they're only like one tragic thing, one hit point away from dying or becoming homeless. You know what I mean? And then he coined this term called the kill line. I want to see the video is fucking 44 minutes long, but I want to find the point where they describe the kill line.
From talking about like viral trends in the States to viral trends in China. Because on Chinese social media for the past few months,
Oh, here we are.
there's been this concept called the kill line that's been going viral there. And it was introduced by a 22-year-old Chinese student who lived in Seattle. I believe he was like a biology student, and he was working part-time.
Okay, she's about to literally explain what I just said, but I guess like better than me because she has more than her notes right in front of her about it.
He was working part-time as a forensic assistant, so collecting like unclaimed bodies. And it turned out that a lot of them were people who were unhoused, right? And so he kind of borrowed this term from the gaming community called the kill line. And in the gaming community, it's basically when your character's health is so low that one hit or one blow will just like end you. And he adopted it to name or describe this precarious condition that a lot of Americans find themselves in, this kind of economic precarity, where a single emergency, like a medical emergency, a car accident, loss of employment, could push someone into irreversible financial collapse. So this concept of the kill line has been going viral for the past few months in China, and it's had this massive cultural impact. Emma, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about this kill line, and why do you think it sparked such an intense debate in China?
Yeah, I think like Chinese people learning about really how close Americans are to like complete financial ruin and homelessness has been kind of shocking. I've been following a lot of discourse on Xiangshu about it, and it's actually been kind of entertaining watching like Americans be shocked by Chinese people being shocked at how we have to live here. I think that I've seen a lot of Chinese netizens, expressing shock that they thought they were being fed propaganda about like conditions in the US, but it's so much worse than they actually thought. There's just been lots of discussion about how shocking it is that Americans have to work multiple jobs and are so far in debt and can't afford like crucial healthcare treatment. I think the increase of like dialogue between Americans and Chinese people on Xiangshu has really highlighted just the stark difference in how our governments treat everyday people and the lack of like social safety net that there really is here in the US.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I want to thank you for joining me for this short series in the
Yeah, Charles, what are your thoughts on the kill line? Like, why do you think it's picked up so much currency in China?
Yeah, definitely all the reasons that Emma named. I think it's interesting as well that it originates in gaming culture because, of course, like inherently in the structure of video games, life, or rather lives plural, are relatively cheap, right? If you die in the game, you can respawn. And I think that speaks to, a corresponding cheapness and maybe a fundamental like unreality or perhaps the reality of life under US capitalism, right? The other thing that I thought of, right, is that the kill line specifically is referring to, a degree of financial precarity where, a single emergency expense will throw you, as I said, into this irreversible debt spiral. And what that speaks to is specifically the credit and debt fueled personal consumption patterns that we're socialized into and incentivized into in the US specifically. I think that is something that also is, quite alien to a lot of Chinese people's experience because of, the extremely high household savings rate there, right? Which you can attribute to any number of both like objective material and sort of cultural factors. But it is a major difference, in mentality and in actual financial practice. And
Okay, I'm gonna let this go on for like a couple more seconds, and we're gonna move on to the next topic.
it's in some ways magnified nationally, actually, into like policies of the central government, like maintaining a massive current account surplus, or this record-breaking $1.2 trillion trade surplus from last year that made so much news, or for example, stockpiling a national grain reserve in order to defend food sovereignty. And that actually is like the main line of attack against China's sovereign economic policies coming from Western neoclassical economists, right? They keep saying that China is suffering from underconsumption versus overproduction or overinvestment. They say that it needs to shift from investment to consumption, right? In order to fully liberalize, fully westernize its economy.
All right. Stop sharing. All right. So yeah, that was the kill line thing I wanted to cover. Just more highlighting how different the quality of life of people in China is versus America. But it's just like I wouldn't run this into the ground so much if literally there wasn't just so I know, like, especially if you guys have been following me for a while, you must like you obviously know this, but like also like it's also ways for you guys to like I want to give you guys ways to like talk to your family and your friends or your coworkers about how to explain to them this kind of stuff because they see, wow, if China can do it, that means it is possible. We can have it here, and then that's how we can change things. Talking to your fellow people, working class people, or just people in your lives. But it's like if it wasn't just so many people that genuinely dead ass believe that America is like this amazing country, and it is like all these dumbass people like mass immigrating here also feeds into this delusional behavior because they're always like, oh, if we weren't the most amazing utopia, best country in the world, why do all these people come here every year? Why are people, throwing their babies or putting their babies through fucking barbed wire fences to get into America, which is fucking stupid. I remember some Mexican lady was doing that, and it's like, you need to have your baby taken away from you. Mexico is not that fucking bad. It's actually a pretty beautiful country. She probably just like one Chanel bag. Or I'm not gonna say actually I don't know. I mean, unless she's like running from the cartel, but like fucking less than 1% of people are actually even see or are affected by the cartel in Mexico. Or not affected, but like affected so much where they're like after you and they're gonna kill you or something. Unless she got involved with the cartel or some shit and like she's trying to escape that. It's the only thing I can think reason I can think why she were putting her this Mexican lady was putting her baby through barbed wire fence to try to get into America. But anyway, I've talked about mass immigration before, like last episode I really talked about it a lot more. Um, but yeah, just to reiterate, mass immigration, we don't want brain drain. Brain drain is whatever all the top, because usually the most educated and well-off people are the ones coming to America. And it's like, no, use your intelligence and your skills and your labor to make your own country better. Because I'm for multipolarity. Because that mass immigration, all it's doing is helping America and helping the capitalist elite. Because they're the ones who want open borders. They're the ones who destabilize other countries so that more immigrants come here. They want immigrants coming here. So yeah, I'm getting out of America the first chance I get. It's just America sucks so fucking bad, and that I literally can't even save up enough money to get a ticket to get out of here. That's how bad American capitalism is. And then also like I kind of want to save my people. I have my people here, and like I want to make America a better place. So that's another reason why I'm staying here. But yeah, let's move on. So we covered those things already. Um, okay, and so oh yeah, the Cuba blockade lately. And then we're gonna get into the Iran war last. Don't worry, we're just getting this stuff out of the way. Because this episode's way overdue, so we're getting a lot of shit out of the way. The Cuba blockade and what the U.S. is doing to the Cubans by blocking the oil from coming in. It's causing starvation. And this starvation is like Gaza, but without bombs. I even made a TikTok video about this where I literally say basically exactly this, and barely anybody is talking about it. And I just want people to know that's how bad the starvation is. It's like Gaza level starvation, and and I think like it's because like I don't think people know just how bad it is, but thankfully Russia and China are helping them. Russia is providing significant economic, energy, and political support to Cuba to help it manage a severe U.S.-driven energy crisis. This support includes shipments of crude oil, refined fuel, and wheat to alleviate chronic shortages, and China has deepened its support for Cuba, providing significant emergency aid, including 60,000 tons of rice. I mean, China, dude, come on, you have to give it to them. It's like, it's comical. It makes America look like a fucking supervillain. Like, America just starves people, and then China has to come in and save the day and fucking literally feed people that are being starved by America. I mean, what the fuck? People that haven't realized, like, dude, our country, America is literally, you're living in a evil, gnarly, 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 evil country. China literally has to bring in 60,000 tons of rice, $80 million in financial aid, and essential goods like ventilators to combat severe food and fuel shortages. Beijing has reaffirmed its commitment to helping Cuba maintain stability and sovereignty against U.S. sanctions. So there you go. America starves and unalives people while Russia and China build. Okay. It's also great how this little island 90 miles away from Florida, away from America, has resisted for 67 years as a socialist country, while America, the strongest power in the world, has been so incredibly hostile to them and trying to blockade and sanction them as much as they can. And the Cuban people still survive uh, as a socialist country. It goes to show how strong the Cuban people are and how effective the socialist system is. Um, Oh yes. Okay, so then like the 40th, so it's like before the war, there was the 40th anniversary of Iran's revolution and like all those like protests. So like also in before that, there was a bunch of these, as you guys were probably keeping up, there was a bunch of these protests. I think, oh yeah, I was covering the protests in the last video. These are these like Iran, like pro-monarchists or like these protests, and they were like killing cops and shit. And it was all like funded by Israel. Anyway, the 47th anniversary of Iran's revolution came in like Thousands of people came to the street. We're gonna get to Iran right after this. And yeah, the most annoying people on earth is the diaspora, the Gusano Cubans and Venezuelans and the pro-monarchy Iranians, the anti-China Chinese. You know, they all want white American daddy to bomb and kill their people in their home countries. It's disgusting. Um, so. I have this massive, okay, some more North Korean news. You know, the North Korea had a massive transformation, and we're gonna see how awesome this is. And like people say, like North Korea is this horrible, desolate place where their people are starving and dying, and oh my God, they're monstrous, horrible people. We're about to show you how cool and developed North Korea is and is becoming. Let's share screen here. All right, let's show you guys. Um, let's look at this.
A new subway station. A new.
So yeah, this tweet reads, this guy's great. He posts this. The U.S. killed 20% of North Korea's population, burned every city to ash. Then came the starvation sanctions, the encirclement. They built the bomb. Now they're building skyscrapers. The North Koreans are building skyscrapers.
New beach resort and a new downtown with so many skyscrapers, it's being called Pyongyang. North Korea is spending
like Manhattan in New York.
Big despite international sanctions on the authoritarian country. Pyongyang has been the site of multiple redevelopment projects in recent years, changing portions of this once gritty landscape into a modern city. The latest sign of this building boom are these 80-story skyscrapers.
80 stories.
현재 제일 높은 산림집들로는 수도의 동쪽 관문에 자리 잡은 성화고리 80층
story
skyscraper, 북쪽 관문을 위치한 조미고리 80층 초고층 산림집을 둘 수
For you
있습니다.
guys that aren't watching, the 80-story skyscraper in Songhua Street, which is located at the eastern gateway to the capital. This is some North Korean, I think like a diplomat or spokesperson.
북쪽 관문에 위치한 조미고리 80층 초고층 산림집을 둘 수 있습니다.
The flats are part of a plan laid out in 2021 by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to construct 50,000 new housing units in Pyongyang. The 5-year project promised to improve the living conditions of residents in Pyongyang.
지금 이 초고층 산림집들에서는 평범한 근로자들이 생활하고 있는데
Normal workers are living in the skyscrapers.
우리 인민들은 새로 일도서는 고리들과 산림집들에서 우리 인민들은 토마스과 더불어 나날이 변모되는 평범한 근로자들이 생활하고 있는데
Now normal workers are living in those skyscrapers, and in future, together with the changing appearance of the fatherland day by day, our people will lead more cultured and happier lives in the newly built streets and houses.
보다 문명하고 행복한 생활을 누려가게 될 것입니다.
That's awesome, dude. That's fucking
North Korean
awesome.
state media announced in late 2025 that the 5-year plan had reached its final stage, the construction of 10,000 new housing units in the city's Hwasong district. Below the streets is another sign of Pyongyang's redevelopment plans. The city's underground metro first opened in 1972 with trains imported from China. For decades, the metro stations had a distinctly Cold War-era vibe, including muted colors.
I love that look of the North Korean subway cars. They're actually changing some of them, sadly, and re-innovating them. I hope they at least keep one of the cool Cold War style trains. It's just so awesome and retro. I hope they at least keep it for nostalgia purposes. That would be beautiful because I cannot wait to go there and ride one of those trains.
With panel train interiors and station walls adorned with propaganda murals. Now
Those
several
are
stations
awesome.
have undergone a facelift. At Yonggwang Station, long escalators descend to a revamped platform.
Wow,
Brighter colors
look
and
at
modern
that.
electronic displays present riders with a more modern station.
오늘 변천된 평양의 모습은 새로이 뜨거운 거리를
Nowadays, the changes in Pyongyang can be seen not only in the
아니라
new
우리 지하철도를
streets,
통해서도
but also in the subway
체감할 수
stations.
있습니다. 지하철도 역사들은
The subway stations are a major convenience for people in the capital and were built
시도
in
시민들의 교통상
aesthetic
편의를
ways.
보장하면서도 매 역들마다
In
주제별
terms
특성에
of
맞게
architecture, decoration, and
건축과
lighting,
장치, 조명을 필요한 모든
equals
것이 저용 예술화되었습니다.
Pyongyang's subway system consists of just 2 lines that stop at a total of 16 stations. The metro does not reach the city's newest suburbs, which are home to the newly built high-rises.
Look, they have beaches.
More than 200
Everybody's
kilometers
having
north,
fun.
a new beach resort hugs 5 kilometers of coastline in the city of Wonsan. The Wonsan Kalma Beach Resort was opened during the summer of 2025. State media reports said it can accommodate nearly 20,000 people, with more than 50 hotels and attractions like water parks and restaurants available for visitors.
Awesome. Okay, So that is that. Stop sharing. All right, what is the next thing on our list? I wanted to get that out of the way, show you guys some North Korean news. Um, oh yeah, with this Epstein file show, I want to tell you guys just so like, I'm a historian. I get into a bunch of deep shit other than just geopolitics, so like it's all connected and shit, like I'm a crazy, insane motherfucker. But some shit I was learning about recently is you guys know who Zabai Zevi is? Um, I don't know exactly his name. Um, Let me see if I can pull up. Uh, okay, Sabadai Zevi. All right, let me show you guys this shit. This guy. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. No. All right, this guy fucking. Oh, Zabai Zevi. So he was this Jewish guy, and like he started with like okay, he was a Jewish mystic, and he was like uh he claimed to be the Jewish Messiah because like all the Jews believe like there's gonna be this long-awaited like Messiah that comes, and like Jesus or whatever, but like they don't believe in Jesus, they reject Jesus, so like they don't think he was the but there is gonna be the fuck. Hold on, I'm gonna turn my Bluetooth off. Hey, when this happens. Okay, make sure my mic is set up. Input, yeah, stereo microphone. Output, AirPods. Okay, so yeah, so they believe that they believe that they're going to have a Messiah, and he claimed he's a Messiah. Okay, so then this, so then there was someone who was like his a follower of his, or like this guy that his name's Jacob Frank. Okay, and if some of you already know, you know where this is going. This is really fucking crazy weirdo shit I'm about to tell you guys. You guys are literally not going to believe this. When I tell people this, they literally have to fucking I literally have to look this shit up to show them. Okay. Yeah, you stereo microphone. And about okay, make sure my audio and everything is correct. All right, now let me show you guys this shit. Um, Jacob Frank. So like this is where like Zionism, the idea of Zionism, like spiritually, really comes from. Okay, this motherfucker is nuts. Okay, let me show you guys this fucking shit. He believed that he was the reincarnation of Zavi Zevi. Okay, and all right, share Chrome. All right, Jacob Frank. Okay, so basically, this guy he believed that um to bring the Messiah that okay so basically there's like there is different views in Judaism. Some believe they all believe that they want and need the Messiah to come. Okay, this will like they want the Messiah to come, right? But some of them believe that God can and then also when the Messiah comes, they can all return to their homeland, which is like ancient Israel or Israel, right? But most of the Jews were like, okay, we cannot force the Messiah to come. God will have the Messiah come when the Messiah comes, and God will choose when the right time is. And then there is this other train of thought in Judaism that believes, no, we can actually force the Messiah to come. We can bring it on. We can do things to bring the Messiah to come, and then we can return to our homeland. So, like, that's the thing about Zionism is that a lot of Judaism, like a lot of like Orthodox Jews, not a lot, honestly, it's kind of like been changed. But like at the beginning, they were like at the very beginning of Zionism, a lot of Jews were like, no, this is all wrong. We can't return to our Jewish homeland until the Messiah comes. But anyway, Jacob Frank, he believed that if we can hasten bring on the Messiah, and to bring on the Messiah, we have to do things that is like crazy, and like we have our morals in society, and we have to like revert these morals. We have to break these morals, and then this will bring about the Messiah. So he just did a bunch of gnarly things. They like one of the things they did was incest. They particularly liked one of the particular forms of incest that they did was father and daughter. So their fathers, they would sexually molest and have sex with their young daughters, their these little girls. And so think about how, okay, so the Iran war, which I'm going to get into a little bit, and just a little bit after this, I'm setting the stage here. So in the Iran war, as you guys, some of you guys that have been keeping up, so at the very beginning, just a few days ago, Iran drone striked and all girls, okay, elementary school, little girls, and like this is why I call it the Epstein regime. They are literally obsessed with little girls and killing them and raping them, and it's disgusting. These people are literally disgusting, and it's insane. And it's like you might think this is crazy, and it's like yes, it is crazy, but you have to understand that these people who run the world, they are literally religious extremists. Like they are crazy. Like this guy Jacob Frank, he had thousands of followers. You might think, oh, he's just some nut. He's maybe just some guy on drugs or whatever. No, this guy was a serious religious leader who had thousands of followers. Like this isn't just like this one lone guy. Like no, this guy Jacob Frank had thousands of followers, and a lot of these people did this weirdo shit with incest and shit. And so they were called the Frankists. Okay. So, um, yeah, they have this obsession with killing and raping little girls. That's what you've seen with Epstein. That's what you've seen with, and I'm about to show you guys in a little bit, some more shit with these, these girls that have gotten, uh, drone striked. And it's just fucking so fucking sad and disgusting. But anyway, let me just show you guys some of this shit. He believed in purification through transgression. So yeah, transgression is like doing like breaking the morals, breaking societal boundaries. So like right here, Frank's teachings led his sect to scandalous practices including ritualized orgies, incestuous acts, most notably between father and daughters, and the deliberate violation of Jewish moral laws, which he preached were necessary to hasten a messianic redemption through embracing the abyss of sin. So, like, dude, this shit is not like some crazy, like, dude, this shit is real. And a lot of Zionists and these early Zionists were Frankists. But they don't tell their tell people they're Frankists. They're like secret Frankists, and it's fucking crazy. Um, Frank arguably created a religious movement. Yeah, this is not some lone crazy guy. He created a religious movement called Frankism, and it's fucking insane. Um, oh my God, what the fuck is the Senchaya? Is the word mean dwelling connotes made of the divine presence of God and extensively discussed. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna get off this from now. I'm just setting the stage here is like when I get into like this is why the episode is called Iran versus the Epstein regime and like the axis of resistance versus the Epstein regime. So yeah, these people are fucking gross. These people are nuts. They're insane. Also, um I always cite this study about how this is a real study done that the richer people were, the more insane and psychopathic they became. So they were doing these brain scans on like millionaires and CEOs and shit, and they found that their brain had the same brain uh pick the same brain scans as psychopaths. Like they lack empathy, and it makes sense because how can you literally be someone that has like hundreds of millions of dollars or $1 billion when there are literally people starving and dying on the street? I mean, just literally, how can you hold, like, how do you how do you sleep at night? I don't know. I couldn't because I am a regular, empathetic human being, but these people are not regular people. They're sick in the fucking head. They wouldn't be able to live with themselves if they were like an empathetic person. So they like they turn off their empathy and say, no, like I need to keep all this money. They're fucking crazy. It's like I need to exploit these people because I need to be rich, and it's just you guys know about it. Capitalism it corrupts, and these people are fucking disgusting. Anyway, um, next thing. Okay, so let's move on. Setting the stage here. There is Ep.45 and Jacob Frank, and this has to do with like Epstein and shit like that. As you can see, like Epstein, how he had this thing with little girls, and he's Jewish, and he was a Zionist. Um, and it's funny because like these Israelis, these people are religious extremists. So most people when they think of religious extremism, they think like Islam and terrorists, but they forget that there's also Israeli Jewish extremists. And the funny thing is that they're the ones running the government. You know what I mean? Most like what's really scary and fucked up about the Jewish extremists is that like the Islamic extremists, they're not really in power. You know what I mean? They like run these little groups like Al Qaeda and ISIS, and they do have a lot of them do have power, and they do a lot of fucked up shit. But these Jewish extremists are literally running some of the they're literally some of the most powerful people in the world. They're like 1,000 times more powerful than like some ISIS leader. You know what I mean? They literally run Israel that has a huge influence over America, the strongest superpower in the world. And these Christian nationalists are literally Zionists. And then, okay, and I have so much to get to. And then also, so yeah, there was this um Christian nationalist. So he was a commander. Here, we'll get to this right here. So he was a commander, and here, I'll just show you guys right here. US troops, what the fuck? US troops were told Iran war is for Armageddon and the return of Jesus. Advocacy group reports commanders giving similar speeches at more than 30 installations in every branch of the military. So this is why I try to say that these are literally religious extremists. They believe in batshit insane shit. It's like, I'm not saying the shit is real and like the Armageddon is real and that Jesus is real, but these people that are real and that have a very real effect on society, they make very real choices like whether we can bomb someone or if we can drop a nuke, and they have the power to make those very real choices that have very real effects. But they believe in this batshit insane shit. You know what I mean? It's like that's why I like to look into this shit, not because I believe in the Armageddon and believe in all this ritual shit, but more so because very powerful people believe in this shit. And they like this is what I think a lot of people don't like take for granted is like these people genuinely believe in this shit. You know what I mean? So that's why I look into philosophy and history and religion. And I can tell you about ancient Canaanite religion. I can tell you about the Bible. I can tell you about ancient Mesopotamia, like the Sumerian civilization and Nimrod and the Babylonian gods and the Sumerian gods and Baal. And I study this shit and like Greek gods. Um, an Egyptian god like Isis, and like Ishtar in Mesopotamia. Anyway, Aphrodite, the Greek gods, and it's crazy because all this shit goes back to like ancient religion, thousands of years ago. It's really a trip. Anyway, so we'll get more into this. Do I have to do this to read this? Okay, a combat unit commander told non-commissioned officers at a briefing Monday that the Iran war is part of God's plan and that President Donald Trump was, quote unquote, anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran to cause Armageddon and mask his return to Earth. That is a direct quote that one of these commanders said. These commanders that are in charge of millions of people in the army and that have in charge with like they have literally the red missile buttons in front of them. It's like you wouldn't want to give a madman a gun, right? Or an AK-47 in front of a crowd of people. The same idea. You don't want to give a fucking literally gnarly, insane religious extremist the access to be a military commander so that the most powerful superpower in the world, America, the U.S. Army. Okay, so when did this come out? This was in March 2nd. Okay, so this is about 8 days ago. It's March 10th right now, but it's like 2 a.m. March 10th. Um, Okay, from Saturday morning through Monday night, more than 110 similar complaints about commanders in every branch of the military had been logged by the Military Religious Freedom Foundation. The complaints came from more than 40 different units spread across at least 30 military installations. Okay, the MRF, I think there's some. They're like these people that deal with like religious extremism in the army or some shit, or like religious, equality. And it's like supposedly there was like Muslims in the fucking. It's like you are must be a real piece of shit Muslim that you're willing to fucking kill. You're willing to bomb fucking innocent Muslim children. Like you're a real disgusting piece of shit. Like I feel like if you're a Muslim, like one thing I liked about Muslims is that they're like pious, like very a lot some of them very morally strong people. And like a lot of them are very proud of that. So it's like I kind of like, like I think all organized religions, of course, it's going to get a little, complex or whatever. But that's like one thing I kind of liked about, if I am going to pick a religion. And they're these fucking, like, you're a disgusting Muslim if you're willing to bomb other innocent Muslims in the Middle East. Um, so yeah, if you guys can pause this and read this if you want. See, like 11 Christians, one Muslim, one Jew. As I was gonna say, there's at least the Muslims is only one. It's like, okay, so yeah, this guy is fucking insane. Um, so yeah, like the bunch of these saying a bunch of supposedly it's a bunch of different supposedly military commanders saying this crazy shit. Um, and yeah, Pete Hegseth is this crazy fucking person. Some Christians claim biblical prophecy requires Israel to exist for Jesus to return. Oh my God, these people are crazy. Hegseth has initiated monthly prayer sessions. All right, so that's basically that. Okay. So that's insane. Um, Stop. Okay, now we'll move on to the next thing. We're going rapid fire here, boys. Um, eh, oh yeah, China has been giving Iran coordinates with their Baidu system. Oh yeah, recently, not too long ago, Miami Gusanos, anti-Cuban Gusanos stole a boat, loaded it with assault rifles and tried to infiltrate Cuba. Ended up getting fucking smacked. Ended up getting fucking gunned down by some badass Cuban soldiers. Fucking just smoked their ass. They didn't even get a chance. They had like fucking 50 guns and fucking 5 crates of ammunition. Totally must be some CIA shit. Um, Cuban guardsmen like cooked them, 4 dead, 6 captured. They're all confessing to it and shit. Okay. Um, Same terrorist pipeline since Bay of Pigs. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of this that happened. Um, all right, let's check it out. So this is another Bay of Piglets situation, and I've reported on a Bay of Piglets situation where like these guys keep trying to come and take over Cuba, and it's like, guys, it's not gonna fucking work. You fucking R word, you fucking retards. All right. Um. Oh yeah. And so yeah, let me show you guys a little video of these retards, and that you can tell they're totally fucking stupid. Good thing they got fucking smoked and didn't hurt any innocent Cubans. They're already suffering enough. Miami Gusano stole a boat loaded with assault rifles, trying to infiltrate Cuba. Cuban Guardia Fronteras cooked them. Um, Same terrorist pipeline since Bay of Pigs, same result every time. Oh yeah, this is just a picture of them. Okay, I thought this was one of the videos. Um, Stolen a boat, filled it with weapons, sneaking by the U.S. dragnet that is monitoring every vessel that enters and leaves Cuba. Credulous to believe this wasn't either planned as last directed by CIA or just allowed through. Yeah, like why do you people think they could just 10 people just take a speedboat to Cuba and start shooting. Anyway, yeah, these are criminals. They got what they deserved. Awesome. Okay, stop sharing. All right, what's the next thing? Rapid fire, baby. A lot. Like I said, this episode is past due. A lot of fucking shit happened. Um, what is this? Next note. Oh yeah, so um Julius Caesar, oh yeah, we can talk about that later. We have so much to get into. Like about to get into Julius Caesar, like, oh fuck. Okay. Um, okay. Um Yeah, the Iran-Iraq War. Okay, so we're gonna I have some tabs, some bookmark tabs, and we're gonna get into I'm gonna react to those and do some more reporting, mainly on the Iran War. Let's see, more bookmarks. All right. Um, Okay, so this is footage of the Tomahawk missile strike on the primary school for girls in the city of Minab in Iran. When I was telling you guys earlier that these more than 150, okay, 168 girls aged 7 to 12 got killed by this. So yeah, and then there was a slight video of it. People were able to pause the frame and see that is clearly a Tomahawk missile. So that is verifiable proof. Even CNN reported on this. That is absolute verifiable proof that because a lot of the fucking Iranian these pro-monarchist retards or pro-US retards are trying to say that, oh no, it was actually Iran that killed their own little girls. Insane. Or trying to say, yeah, that it's like they're trying to blame it on Iran, of course, right? But no, we actually have proof. We already knew this, right? But now we have verifiable, undoubtable proof that it was the U.S. because it's a Tomahawk missile. It was a Tomahawk missile strike, and yeah, this is the video of it. Um, Here's a cool poster. Zionism is racism. Soviet poster. I posted this on my Instagram. Man, I miss having my DCG archive, little media project I did on my Instagram. Man, it's so sad. But yeah, I posted this on my DCG archive. Okay. So next thing about what's happening in Iran. This. So. Um. So. The U.S. Struck. Oil refineries in Iran. And when they're airstriking these, like, they have like these big factories and oil refineries where they have a lot of chemicals and shit, or just oil refineries themselves, they airstrike it. What happens is this toxic cloud of black rain started coming over Tehran, and it's now moving towards Western China. So this is why, like, man, China needs to come in this shit and stop this shit, because it's starting to, even if China wants to think, oh no, we're going to be isolationists and we're going to be this as, I got Mal up there, you know what I mean? But anyway, and we're going to be isolationists and we're only going to be worried about ourselves. Okay, well, now you guys have toxic fucking acid rain fucking coming over, acid rain coming over your guys' fucking country. So now you need to fucking get involved because it's coming into your territory now. So yeah, here's a video of it. And yeah, it's a perfect metaphor for the Zionist empire. That's so true. All right, what else is going on? Okay, we're gonna talk about this dumbass in second, Vic Mensa. This is hard as fuck. Please, somebody give me this shirt if they can. Um, okay, Jesus Christ. There's so much. Okay, let's watch this fucking disgusting fucking
I'm gonna be
shit.
honest, I can't go to Iran. I can't deploy to Iran. I'm gonna be honest, I can't go to Iran. I can't deploy to Iran. And it's not because I don't want to. I want to serve my country. It's just that I will be an OPSEC liability in any country filled with pretty caramel-colored women. She's gonna be like, "What's an op board?" And I'm gonna be like, "It's hard to explain. It'd be easier if I just grab one and show you." I'm gonna be honest, I can't go to Iran. What's an op board? And I'm gonna be like, "It's hard to explain.
Board?
It'd be
Okay.
easier if I just grab."
You're a fucking nasty faggot. Sorry. You're a piece of shit fucking rapist, piece of fucking shit colonizer. This is why I tell you, fucking beautiful women of color, please quit dating white men. Please quit dating these colonizing rapist pieces of fucking shit. Okay? The people who historically raped, colonized, pillaged your people were white men, not even necessarily white women. You could be friends with white women, have your white girlfriends, that's fine. White men, stay the fuck away from them. There was not women coming over to the Aztec Empire and knocking over the Aztec Empire. There was not women that were, um, going and stealing Africans in Africa to bring back the transatlantic slave trade to be slaves. Okay? It was not women colonizing the Middle East and imperialism of the Middle East. No, it was not. It was men. Okay? So this is why, like, I don't really care whenever men of color date white girls because it wasn't them doing this shit historically, it was the men doing it. So this is why I'm like, you beautiful women of color, please quit dating these fucking piece of shit colonizing white men, especially you ones that think you're so anti-colonialism and I'm a leftist, and then you turn around and have a white boyfriend. You're a fucking piece of shit, fake leftist, fake fucking revolutionary. If you're really about this shit, you cannot turn around and have a fucking white boyfriend because this is how they are. And this is what women of color need to realize. This kind of attitude it is intrinsic to the psychosexual reality of all dating. You cannot date a white man. You might think he's nice and everything. He might not ever say anything like this. He might be okay, but it's implanted. It's intrinsically implanted to the back of their heads. Okay. And it's like, I know a lot of white guys watch my shit and it's like, okay, I'm absolutely fuck with you. My best friend is white. You know what I mean? I have white family. But you guys need to stay away from women of color. Okay? You guys have your own white girls you can date. Date your own white girls. Because I'm fucking tired. I'm fucking tired of this shit. It's fucking disgusting. This piece of shit fucking colonizing motherfucker said he can't help himself but rape Iranian women. Okay, yeah, this American soldier said he should not be sent to Iran because he will be an operational security risk due to his inability to resist the urge to rape Iranian women. Fucking disgusting. Let's watch this one more time just to get this through your heads. How disgusting these white colonizing nasty fucking men are.
I'm gonna be honest, I can't.
And it's not all white men are like this. And there's like I said, like some of them are perfectly fine. And we need you guys. Like plenty of you guys are my boys, and you guys listen to my show, and that's great. And I love you guys. And most of my friends are white guys. But I'm sorry, but you need to stay away from our women. I'm completely cool with you guys, being best friends with you guys, but you have to stay away from our women. And if you're a woman of color watching this, yes, stay the fuck away from them. These motherfuckers, like I said, it's intrinsic to the psychosexual reality of dating culture. Like that's why you always see like these fantasies. They have like this fantasy of wanting to like colonize a girl or whatever. Like there was this one. I think I showed this on my show where this girl was like this beautiful Asian queen was like she was on a dating show and some white guy was a white guy. So she's like, I don't really want to date you because you're a white guy and you're like you guys are fucking colonizers. I was like, hell yeah. And then the white guy goes, oh yeah, well I can colonize you. They're just so used to shit like that working. They're so used to getting these Asian girls that have colonialism of the mind and fawning and falling in love with them. He honestly thought that line was gonna work. He honestly thought that shit was hard because they're so used to just having these girls fall in love with them and that's why white men are just such good dating in America because of colonialism and imperialism. Let's watch this more time.
I can't deploy to Iran. And it's not because I don't want to.
It's not because I want to. I want to serve my country. I want to kill innocent people. It's not that I don't want to kill innocent people.
It's just that I will be an OPSEC liability in any country filled with pretty caramel-colored women.
It's not that I don't want to kill innocent people. It's just that I'm also gonna rape the women as well. You're a fucking disgusting piece of fucking shit.
She's gonna be
and
like,
I hope people come and
I'm
find
gonna be like,
your
it's hard
ass.
to explain. It'd be easier if I just grab one and show you.
Disgusting. Okay, this is one of the survivors. This video has absolutely been making my stomach sick. I had to download it to then repost it on my TikTok and stuff so I can do reporting and get more of this out there because people need to know about this and what's happening. And I've been sending it to some people I know too, and it's like this video is honestly makes my fucking stomach sick. And yeah, so like in the Iraq War, it was known that US soldiers would kill innocent girls like this. They would also pimp them out and rape them. Thousands, I mean hundreds of cases of these white American men raping these Middle Eastern Iraqi women and even little girls, some of them as young as this girl. And to see this little beautiful girl's face and her sadness in her eyes, this cute little girl and that I mean I can't even think about it. I can't even say it. It makes me I will literally puke. It makes me sick to my fucking stomach that just right above this, there is a man talking about how he's gonna rape Iranian women. He can't help himself but rape Iranian women if he goes to Iran. And then this is one of these little girls talking about how her whole school got drone striked, killed her 11-year-old brother, killed her mother who was a teacher.
اومد بیرون اونم بیرون بود وقتی این صدا رو شنید گفت میخوام برم مامانم رو نجات بدم رفت بالا دوباره زدن اونم شهید شد ما تو مدرسه بودیم بعد
It literally will make me want to cry. Her little black eye, dude. It's fucking God. This is why I try to fight so fucking hard against imperialism. Because these people do not deserve this shit. And it's like, this doesn't have to happen. You know what I mean? Like, that little girl did not need to lose her family. Now she's going to grow up without a family. She's going to be scarred for the rest of her life. That did not need to happen. Like, we can live in a world where this stuff doesn't happen, right? I'm not just some crazy revolutionary that's like, like anarchists that are like dreamers or whatever. No, like I am a fighter of imperialism because I genuinely have a realistic goal. Like it's not unrealistic to say we don't want these things, right? I have a realistic goal that will be accomplished and I will fight for it to end American US imperialism. This is the 14-month-old granddaughter of Ali Khomeini that was murdered by the Epstein regime. When they can't rape children, they bomb them. Yep. So that's what I was talking about with Jacob Frank, the Frankists, and how they have this crazy Jewish ideology of like raping children and shit. Yeah, these Zionists, man, they're fucking, it's insane. Um, this is awesome. Famous clip from a Chinese film depicting China's development of its first atomic bomb in the 1960s. He says it should be said that this is like a PLA soldier. He's saying it should be said that the United States is a beautiful country, but it shouldn't be like this, constantly bullying you to the point where you just want to shout, "No, fuck you." That's awesome. Yeah, no, fuck these imperialist fucking dogs. Here's an elderly Japanese man. He says he hates white men since he was a child, watching them as soldiers sexually target Japanese women. They are pedo, he said. They have not changed even as he is an old man, and they still haven't changed. These white men are still pedos in Japan. He's absolutely right. White men, these fucking people like the US, and they are pedos. They come and colonize and have imperialism over a country, and then they rape the women, they do pedo shit, they kill innocent children and people. CNN reports that Israel timed the terrorist attack for Purim, where they celebrate committing genocide against the Amalek. So yeah, Purim, it's this thing where like there was like a Persian queen or whatever, and she was like at war with the Jews, and then like the Jews like triumphed over her or whatever, and then like that's the thing they celebrate on Purim. And then when they sh did this airstrike to the little girls and on Iran, they did it with Purim. They do blood ritual sacrifices on Purim, specifically of Gentile children. That's why they made sure to bomb the little girls' elementary school in Iran. Yeah. So yeah, like this is literally blood ritual sacrifice. I was told you about the Jacob Frankists and the Epstein shit. If they're not raping them, they're killing them. Um, on Purim, these Zionists, these Jewish supremacists, they literally rape and bomb and do blood ritual sacrifice of Goyim children, of Gentile children, of little girls specifically. They specifically have some kind of nasty thing with little girls, some obsession with little girls, like Jacob Frank and the Frankists, where they would have sex with their little daughters. That was like a main thing that they did, the incestuous shit that they did, to like, bring the Messiah or whatever, so these people are fucking nuts, and it starts to really make sense. Like, why bomb this school? Why bomb? Because these people are insane and they like to do ritual blood sacrifice. Also, like, one of the things is like, they think that, like, oh, here's child sacrifice in ancient Israel. So, yeah, the ancient Israelis, they've been doing child sacrifice for thousands of years. I've done reporting on this, or, I've talked about this on previous episodes. Um, So yeah, the timing of the U.S. and Israeli attack on Iran bears symbolic meaning in Judaism. Ahead of the upcoming Jewish holiday of Purim, worshippers read the specific portion from the Old Testament known as Zechor. The passage from the book of Deuteronomy commands the ancient Israelite to remember an unprovoked attack by the nation of Amalek and to eradicate the memory of Amalek once the Israelites are settled in their land. The passage is read publicly before Purim to vilify the mitzvah of remembering Amalek as Israel's archetypical enemy. Amalek. Um, what is Amalek? Refers to a nomadic nation in the Hebrew Bible described as a relentless early enemy of the Israelites descending from Egypt grants the following attack on Israel after the Exodus. God commands the total destruction of their memory. Ultimate existential enemy of the Jewish people. So were they a real people? A nomadic nation. They were just a nomadic nation. Okay. I'll look into that another time. Their precise ethnicity isn't defined. They're generally as Proto-Arabian group. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is fucking insane. So yeah, this is what I was trying to explain to you guys is like that's why I was talking about the Zabai Zevi and the Jacob Frank and the Frankists earlier, setting the stage that these Zionism and their idea of forcing the second coming of Christ has been a thing that goes all the way back to Zabai Zevi. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's insane. And I can't say it enough. I want to keep saying, like, these people are pedophiles and they like to do ritual blood sacrifice. They have a specific obsession with little girls. That's why the first strike they did in Iran was at an all-girl school where they killed more than 100 elementary school girls. I mean, it's fucking disgusting. Um, yeah, imagine a free Iran, hijab's gone, tequila flowing, Iranian queens blasting, and look, they're trying to post like half-naked girls saying they're Iranian. So you're telling me that these Iranian dysphoria bastards are cheering on the death of young schoolgirls so they can have the right to create an OnlyFans account? Feminism is complete and utter garbage. Hell yeah. I want to have Nick Cruz on the show. If anybody has contact him, if you can hit him up for us. Kim Jong-un's daughter spots from as he tests his new sniper rifle. This is hard as fuck. That's awesome. A little bit of good news spread in with everything. Has been training on Florida, part of a planned terror for Florida. Yeah, those Cuban expat terrorists that tried to take over Cuba or whatever, they were they've been training on an estate in Florida. Okay, that definitely has nothing to do. And how do they evade the U.S. Coast Guard? Yeah, um, this definitely has nothing to do with the CIA. Bay of Pinos, Bay of Piglets. Um, that's some girl. I don't even want to. This Kate Abugza, she's totally a Zionist. I haven't even heard that much about her. I hope she doesn't even take off at all. You know, like these Zoran, like Democrat fucking motherfuckers, just shut them down. Don't even give them any attention. Um, yeah. The Israeli think tank has published a new report stating that China is increasingly becoming anti-Semitic. Um, So that's how you know China is anti-Israel when they got them saying that China is becoming anti-Semitic. Hell yeah, base China. Liberals in the West would freak out if they saw how Chinese comrades talk about Zionism and the Jews on Red Note. They don't do that tone policing bullshit the U.S. left does. They also have zero Holocaust guilt to deal with, so everything is fair game to them. Yeah. All right, so let's see what else. What else we can talk about before we end, baby? Well, before we end today. Okay, so, but let's see what else we can talk about before we end today. Oh yeah, we need to talk about the Vic Mensa R word. Um, I guess we can talk about Julius Caesar. Um, yeah, we're gonna talk. We can do that maybe next episode. Um, yeah, let's fucking let's break down this Vic Mensa R word. Actually, should I even give this fucking guy any attention? Anyway, I'll just say it real quick. Yeah, Vic Mensa was like, "Oh yeah, we shouldn't be bombing Iran, but Iran is an oppressive regime. We should be able to say US is bad and Iran is bad." You're a fucking retard. You're the same people, holding water, pulling water for the US regime change. He's like pro regime change in Iran. You're the same as the monarchist Vic Mensa, you're a retard. So Iran is not an oppressive regime. 70% of the people who are in college are women. Um, also, uh, he's like, he says like, oh yeah, the Gita, the destroyer of worlds. Fuck it, let's just watch it. Let's just watch it. Think I have it up here, right? Oh yeah.
Be an oppressive dictatorship and America can be a bloodthirsty.
Iran is an oppressive dictatorship. Fuck you, fag.
The Islamic Republic in Iran can be an oppressive dictatorship and America can be a bloodthirsty genocidal imperialist at the same fucking time. At the same damn time! Two things can be true at once. The Iranian people deserve freedom. This is one. They deserve not to be jailed for wearing their hair out of hijab, speaking their mind, performing music.
There are literally so many instances or thousands of videos of people walking around Iran on the streets and you see women constantly not having their hijab on and nothing happens. Hold on real quick, guys. I'm gonna make sure that everything is cool. All right, sorry. Make sure that everything is recording correctly. Stop sharing. Sorry, one more time. All right, I'm making sure everything is all right.
Music,
So
journalism. They deserve the right to express their humanity. They deserve not to be murdered for protest.
They do not get murdered for protesting. This is all just regime change bullshit lies. Um, yeah, this is literally just all propaganda. I literally don't know what else to say. So like they were claiming like 30,000 people died. The Iranian government killed 30,000 people that are protesting. Okay, so like in Gaza, we have tens of thousands of people that died, and guess what? We have videos of it. We have Hundreds, I mean, literally thousands of videos of it. They said they killed 30,000 people in like 2, 3 days of protesting. Okay, then show me fucking 10 videos of it happening. No, they can barely show one video. And yes, some people died because some of those people were literally shooting and burning cops alive and throwing Molotov cocktails in buildings full of children. Okay? They were violent protesters paid by Israel. Okay? Those are the only people that got killed. They were not just like innocent protesters being killed.
All of those things have happened under this government. That is oppression. That is
That is
unjust.
not,
Number two,
yeah, and that is not real. You are a fucking retard propagandist. Pro-regime change
another
propagandist.
equally as true thing. Trump's a piece of shit. America and Izzy are bloodthirsty genocidal imperialists. They are not liberators. They are the Bhagavad Gita, the destroyer of worlds.
They are the Bhagavad Gita, the destroyer of worlds. As you guys know, I'm an Indian connoisseur because I'm an Indian baddie connoisseur. And I'm just, so yeah, like my like last like 3 girlfriends were Indian. No, not three. Come on, all right. Okay, my last like three some of my last girlfriends are Indian. Okay, I love Indian women. They're incredibly beautiful. Um, so I happen to know about the Bhagavad Gita. It is a section in the larger Indian epic called the Mahabharata. I'm very bad at pronunciation, but the Mahabharata, and the Mahabharata is, I think a lot of historians call it the longest book of all time, or like the longest historic like epic. And yeah, it's one of these big epics, like how the Greeks have Homer with the Iliad and the Odyssey, these epics, and the Indians have these two main Indian Hindu epics, which is the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. And the Ramayana came first, and then so they have the Mahabharata, and the Mahabharata is fucking huge. And there's like a whole little book inside the Mahabharata that takes place inside Mahabharata called the Bhagavad Gita. He's a retard because the Bhagavad Gita is not the destroyer of worlds. So he gets this quote because his quote was he's like trying to like seem cool to like Indian girls or some shit. No, you're a retard. You don't actually know this shit. So let me school you real quick. So this destroyer of worlds quote was it became famous because of the Oppenheimer movie and like Oppenheimer famously said this quote when he said when he made the atom bomb, he was like, I became the destroyer of worlds. Okay, so in the Bhagavad Gita, um, there is our main character, and then we have um the other character who is they're both on a um they're being carried by a horse. They're on a what is it called? Doing those like those things that are carried by a horse. God damn it. Anyway, so they're those little carts that are carried by a horse. I'm blanking right now. My brain is having such a brain fart. Anyway, um Krishna is one of the characters on the little cart being carried by the horse. And the main character, so they're in the middle of a war. And the main character, he has his whole clan and his family, and they're at war with these other people, but some of them are his family. And he's telling Krishna, he's saying, hey, I don't I don't want to go to war with them because a lot of those people that I'm going to war with are my family. Like some of them are my cousins and stuff like that. And then basically Krishna, who is an avatar of Vishnu, one of the main gods in Hinduism, he's part of the trilogy Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma. And Vishnu is Shiva's the destroyer, Vishnu is the retainer, and Brahma is the creator. And Vishnu, he has like 12 avatars, and one of his avatars is Krishna, and he is the one that's on it, the chariot. God damn it, that's what I was looking for. He's on the chariot with our main character. And our main character is like having these second thoughts about war. And then Krishna turns into this huge fucking crazy psychedelic fucking Vishnu. He turns into Vishnu, like this whole other form. And he basically explains to the main character that sometimes basically, long story short, he just says, look, kid, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. It's like Stalin type shit, where it's like sometimes you have to fucking, when you're up against Hitler, you have to fucking go hard in the paint. You know what I mean? You have to get shit done. And so yeah, and he turns into this like his true form or whatever, like Vishnu, and he says, "I have become Death, Destroyer of Worlds." So this retard said it's like Gita, Destroyer of Worlds. No, Krishna in the avatar of Vishnu is the Destroyer of Worlds, not Gita. The Gita, the Bhagavad Gita, is the name of the book, you retard. The Destroyer of Worlds is not the Bhagavad Gita. That's just the name of the book. The Destroyer of Worlds is Krishna in is Vishnu in his avatar. You retard. Let's run that back.
It's a piece of shit. America and Izzy are bloodthirsty genocidal imperialists. They are not liberators. They are the Bhagavad Gita, the destroyer of worlds.
They are the Bhagavad Gita, the Destroyer of Worlds. He tries to like sound like he's smart using these like historical Indian things. Yeah, you're retarded. And these like Indian philosophical things. You're retarded. The Destroyer of Worlds is not the Bhagavad Gita for the third time. The Bhagavad Gita is just the title of the book, the name of the book, in which the line, the Destroyer of Worlds, is said by the character who's an avatar of Vishnu.
Like anything they do
I've read the Gita. I've read the Bhagavad Gita.
serves their own interest. I personally don't think history
I like studying Indian philosophy and history of all over the world. I can tell you about Indian philosophy and history. I can tell you about Mesopotamian religion, philosophy and history. I can tell you about Persian, Iranian philosophy and history. I can tell you about the Aztecs. I can tell you about the Incas. I can tell you about Africa and the Mali Empire in Africa. I can tell you about Chinese history with the Ming Dynasty, the Qi Dynasty, um, all about Chinese history. I can tell you about the Mongolian history, the Mongolian Empire with Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan. I'm just fucking showing off, but yeah.
Suppose that it ends well when it begins with them bombing. And both things can be true at once. A lot of people flooded my comments, many Iranians even, saying, oh, Iran bombed their own school. That was the Republic. That wasn't America and Izzy, because the niggas that bomb schools all the time couldn't possibly have done it again. You like it, I love it. That's like if Joe Rogan gets accused of saying nigga, like, I'm believing it. I got 7 minutes of uninterrupted YouTube proof of his history of hard R. The whole thing requires nuance. Think about when Trump commuted and ended many people's sentences. He freed mad niggas, but he does not love niggas. It was politically and financially convenient for him. Similarly, in 1979, I heard about Iran taking a bunch of American hostages and letting the black people go because they said we were oppressed enough in America. But their track record doesn't necessarily show a commitment to human rights. I'm learning in real time.
You're a dumbass. That is so fake. It's like, dude, you're literally just falling for Western bullshit slop imperialist propaganda. Iran is just like any other country. They honestly have a a super long and solid history being pro human rights. They're anti-apartheid Africa. They are pro Palestine and anti-Israel. Like, dude, you are a fucking total retard. They have a long history of like revolution and protest, and like plenty of people protest freely all the time. They have plenty of journalists that talk a shit and criticize the government all the time. Okay, and they let them. They honestly, I think they have more open free speech than we do in America. Honestly, it's just different. Like our idea of like democracy and free speech is really it's fake. They're giving us this illusion that we have, this free will to say whatever we want. You know what I mean? But it's like we can say shit as loud as we want, but nothing will ever change. In Iran, you can actually go to your local government and like they can actually make a change. You know what I mean? And like they have like so many instances of like them helping drug addicts and helping heroin addicts and helping people in need and helping the working class, like helping people in need in general. Iran is a great country, man. Like people really do underestimate like Iran. Like I'm not just like saying Iran is great because pro axis of resistance and I'm anti-Israel and they're one of the biggest people in the axis of resistance and fighting Israel. No, I'm actually like obviously like I don't really have any affinity for them other than just the fact that I am someone that just likes to look at history and geopolitics in different countries. I read the facts. I've been learning about Iran for years. I read the facts and I make my assessment of it. And yes, it's like actually insane how people keep saying how oppressive the Iranian regime is when they're actually one of the least oppressive countries. They actually have some of the most freedoms. Like I said, 70% of their women graduate college. Most of the people in STEM and some of the best opportunities in their country are women. So like a lot of these feminists saying they're like anti-women or whatever. Yeah, it's just completely bullshit. It's complete just imperialist slot propaganda, U.S. propaganda. So I think that's about it for today. Thank you guys so much for whoever is obviously if you're watching this, you are someone who uh is able to get to it without me being able to. Like I said earlier, most people get to watch these because they seen it and they're like scrolling Instagram and they went, oh, and they come across my post saying, oh, new DCG episode's out. Let me click on the link and go watch it. Because I can't do that now, it's like 99% of my people gone, but I still see that like 50 or 100 of you watch my episode. Even since it's like my last episode, I still see that some of you are watching, and I'm so thankful for you guys, even though there's not a lot of you right now, and we're gonna build and hope. I think like after this episode, I think like after this, my next one will be a live stream, and I'm gonna jump into live streaming because I really think that's where it's at, and that'll be my next avenue to start building. So follow me on X, follow me on TikTok so I can tell you guys when my live streams will be so I'm not just sitting there looking stupid with 0 views on my live stream. But yeah, I'm gonna start live streaming after this. Thank you guys so much for you guys that still support me and watch my work. And like there was just someone in my last episode they commented, they said, "Hey, we're still here and thank you for all the work you did." And I was like, oh my God. And like you have no idea how much that rejuvenated me. Even though my Instagram got banned, I was so depressed for so long. I still am very depressed about it. But oh my God, that like relit the fire in my heart to want to keep on doing my work and keep on fighting imperialism and keep on putting this information out there and doing my reporting and doing my journalistic work. As a political commentator, as an independent journalist, as a geopolitical analyst. And this is really what I want to do. I love it. I love teaching people. I love talking about it. I love, getting people riled up and hopefully making a change, and if the more people I can get to, the more people that can tell other people, the more of us that can come together, the better chance we have of making a change. You know what I mean? And so it's not just like all these, innocent people in Iran dying right now. It's like it won't all just be for nothing. You know what I mean? Because that's the worst fate. All is just for nothing, and that they won't be avenged, you know, and to get revenge on these bloodthirsty people, imperialists. So yeah, follow me on TikTok at DrugCultGang. Every platform I'm at right now. Yeah, yeah, every platform. If you want to find me on Substack or find me on TikTok or find me on X or if you're on any app. Oh my God, Upscrolled. I've just got on Upscrolled lately. So yeah, if you're like, oh, I wonder if he has an Upscrolled or I wonder if he has, just look up Drug Cult Gang, all one word, Drug Cult Gang, and you will find me. Or just go to my link tree. Just look up Drug Cult Gang link tree. All my links will be there. It will also be in every single description of all my podcast episodes. You can find my link tree. And yeah, so make sure you follow me on TikTok. That's going to be a big, my TikTok is like something I'm really trying to build. So that's going to be one that I'm like, even if I get my Instagram back, I'm still going to really build keep continuing to build my TikTok. So yeah, I fucking love you guys to death. I appreciate you guys so much for supporting me. You really don't even know. Yeah, I would love if you became a patron. That really helps me. I really need patrons. So yeah, subscribe to the Patreon. Go to my link. My Patreon will be in the description. It's also at DrugCultGang. And also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/RocoGang. That will also be in the description and in my link trees. But yeah, I'm just kind of ranting at this point. I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to be right back. I'm going to be doing the live stream, hopefully like next week, sometime next week, or maybe even before that, maybe in a few days, who knows. But yeah, keep up with me. please, if you can, subscribe to the Patreon or send me a donation at Buy Me a Coffee. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.